14 details revealed in the Mandalorian trailer. Disney's D23 Expo has come and gone, but not before they unveiled a veritable smorgasbord of info about all of the properties under their belt. Namely, Star Wars. There was a new look at Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and confirmation of an Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+. Pulling out my inner Kip. But one of the things that all Star Wars fans seem to be super hyped about is the first official trailer for the first ever live-action Star Wars television show, The Mandalorian. The trailer was chock full of what makes Star Wars so much fun. Interesting characters, alien vistas, cool blaster fights, and hidden within the visuals were 14 details you may have missed about the who's who in the world of The Mandalorian and the state of the Star Wars galaxy. So let's break it all down. Of course, before we do, we want to give you a slight spoiler warning as we will be breaking down insider news and rumors about the show, which might upset a few of the die-hard fans. So if you are worried, freeze yourself in carbonite until November. Still here? Great! First up, the trailer opens pretty ominously with busted stormtrooper helmets mounted on spikes in a desert city. Ooh. According to rumors, this will be everyone's favorite Skywalker homeworld, Tatooine, but there is no official confirmation of that yet. But it's the shot that really sets the time period that the show is set in. According to executive producer Jon Favreau, it will take place 5 years after the death of Emperor Palpatine in Return of the Jedi. This places the series about 4 years after the Battle of Jakku, where the Empire, for all intents and purposes, made their last stand and completely surrendered to the New Republic. Obviously, things are more complicated than that since the certain remnants of the Empire rose again as the First Order 30 years down the line. But at this point, the Empire is mostly donezo, and the locals don't seem keen to have Imperials around. Then we see the titular Mandalorian's ship, the Razor Crest, which is a dual-engined gunship flying over a forest. We see more of this planet later on in the trailer, letting us know that the Mandalorian will be hunting bounties all over the galaxy and won't be sequestered to a single planet. Honestly, this whole trailer is filled with beautiful vistas, and it's incredible to think that this is all on the small screen. It's insane. Also, we were stoked to see the Razor Crest battling it out in space. It's high time we got some more Star Wars-y epic space shootouts. Pew, pew. Sorry. Plus, Jon Favreau revealed at Celebration this year that they used practical models and effects to film the spaceships. And oh my god, I am so thankful for that, because I'm all about the old school way of doing things. And since the Mandalorian is a bounty hunter, he meets up with his boss of sorts, Greef Karga, the leader of the Bounty Hunters Guild, who is played by King of Stews, Carl Weathers.
Baby, you got a stew going.
The trailer also gives us our first glimpse at Gina Carano as the mercenary Cara Dune. She's a former rebel shock trooper who fought against the Empire in the Galactic Civil War. Since the fall of the Empire, we can probably guess that she's finding new people to fight because, come on, you don't hire Gina Carano to not beat people up on screen. We then get a few glimpses of some classic Star Wars aliens like Ugnaughts and Twi'leks, and we know we will be getting other OG creatures and aliens as well. Fingers crossed for the Kowakian monkey lizards because Salacious Crumb's laughter is the best. The best. Next, we see Death Troopers. While these elite Imperial troopers have shown up in the animated series Rebels, their only live-action appearance was in 2016's Rogue One. But the important detail to note is how their clean and shiny armor contrasts with the grimy stormtrooper armor we see later in the trailer. The reason being is that these Death Troopers work for Moff Gideon, played by Giancarlo Esposito of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Moff Gideon is a bit of an enigma for the Mandalorian. He's definitely holding on to his Imperial glory days, but we don't know if he's trying to maintain Imperial order in the galaxy, or if he's using his personal army to become a warlord and take advantage of the lawless times. In fact, Esposito himself told ET Canada regarding Moff Gideon, will he use his power for good or evil is still a question. Another question we have is, who does this ATST work for? We don't yet know, but it's worth pointing out the stark differences between well-dressed Moff Gideon versus Werner Herzog's character whose name is still unknown. He's obviously ex-Imperial and controls his own stormtroopers, but they've got a much different vibe. Side note, speaking of those stormtroopers, producers Favreau and Dave Filoni brought in members of the 501st Legion, the premier fan organization that creates screen-accurate stormtrooper costumes to play stormtroopers for real in the series. I mean, how cool is that? But what do we learn about Pedro Pascal's Mandalorian himself in the trailer? One of the most evocative shots is the Mandalorian reaching for his blaster. Favreau first described the character as a gunslinger, and this shot is the perfect encapsulation of that Western movie vibe. We also see the Mandalorian in action freezing his quarries in carbonite and capturing his prey. And while this dude totally looks like he's getting cut in half, we don't think that's the case. If you rewatch that sequence, the Mandalorian ropes the dude, then shoots the door controls to close the door, and if he wanted him dead, that's a lot more steps to take than just maybe, shooting him. But, cutting him in half is a lot cooler. Finally, we wanted to end this on one of the things that we're most excited for. The killer droid IG-11, who is voiced by Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi.
Over here, the pile of rocks waving at you. Here. Yeah, I'm actually a thing. I'm a being.
A lot of fans have been confusing this droid with IG-88, the bounty hunter droid we see Vader hire to find the Millennium Falcon in The Empire Strikes Back. And they're not the only ones making that mistake, because apparently citizens within the Star Wars universe will do the same and assume IG-11 is actually the much more famous IG-88. So there you have it. 14 details you may have missed, but we're sure even more will be revealed when the first episode of The Mandalorian drops on Disney Plus on November 12th. But what do you folks think? What aspect of The Mandalorian are you most excited for? Do you think we'll ever get to see The Mandalorian without the helmet, or will they hide Pedro Pascal's beautiful face the whole time? And do you hope the other bounty hunters from The Empire Strikes Back show up?
Bounty hunters? We don't need that scum.
Let's discuss. That's me typing on a keyboard. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, why not give us a like and subscribe? If you want to get notified every time we go live with the show or drop a new video, feel free to mash that little bell so you can be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world.